Oh my gosh. What happened? Everybody fell out of their chair.
Good?
Yeah. Can I see you now? Can you hear us now? How about the chat? Can you hear us now?
Can you hear me?
Good morning, ladies. I hear you. Do you hear us?
I hear you.
Lynn, you've got the Fred Gwynn head going on. I'm going to fix that right now.
I have not moved, I promise.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
I'm holding still.
I'm holding still. Holding. 5 by 5. Stay on target. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? Sounds great. Annie Ann says it sounds great.
Yay.
Joyce Milberg. Bill Gabriel. Joyce, I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see ya. We've got J9 Campbell. We've got Sirius Atwalski. Joyce was in first today. And let's see. Who else we got? Did I miss anybody? Did I miss anybody there? Barbara Bartleson. Barbara with all the pretty emoticons. You're so cool, Annie Ann. Annie Ann, yeah, this, I usually get funky with the hair on Beauty and the Boomer. The daily hair is like hair hats. So,
Your hair hats.
My hair hats.
Good morning to the Rockfin and the viewers over there.
Hey,
I see we
Rockfin.
got Curious over there.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, we're going to be... What we're going to do is be migrating everybody over to Rockfin as best we can and the other platforms. This show we're going to kind of keep in full on the Daily Dive, but the other shows we're going to have to cut them and move them over to the other platforms. And we'll figure out a way that you can watch them. You can watch them on the Patreons, right, Shanda? Your Patreon?
Yeah, you can. Well, I moved most of them to the Patreon. I haven't really been moving the dive to the Patreon, my Patreon, but
Yeah.
I've moved everything else. But yeah, you can definitely watch them on Patreon. And
yeah, we're just at YouTube and Twitter and all those. They're just getting ridiculous. So it's just, everywhere. Pasta's back. Lynn, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
I'm good.
You've had some projects you've been working on. I see. You want to talk about those at all?
Yes, I'm super excited. So, over the last week, we've launched our Get Out the Vote campaign. So we've been partnering with folks to share their vote story and youth and hosting ballot parties. And it's not about telling people what to do, right? It's just about, let's talk about this. I am so excited to just remove this thought process. I actually said this at the ballot party with Washington for Black Lives last night. Like, please, I don't know why I was taught as a youth not to talk about my pay, religion, or politics.
Yeah.
Ask me anything. And that's how we should move forward.
I agree. Absolutely.
yeah, I was taught the same thing.
Yeah, I was definitely same.
Why am I locked up? Okay, there we go.
Oh, we're just filtering through the tech stuff. Brom, good morning, Brom.
Brom, you're right. And I've got some updates on this story, but Breitbart's probably not the most reliable source.
What's the story Brom's throwing up there?
That there is collaboration, that Hunter Biden's emails are real and true, and it's not Russian, Iranian propaganda.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I know that. Yeah, that's stuff. Anyway, let's let's see if we got this together. Remember, check us out on Rockfin, Twitch TV, Twitter, and who else? We're on YouTube. Where else? Facebook, Land of Oz, if you want to go over there, Land of Oz. Anyway, let's get into this. Let's talk about the cover card. Is this inappropriate, this cover card here, do you think?
I don't know. It's funny.
Well,
Everything's inappropriate about 2020. Are you kidding?
I know. Inappropriate, insensitive, clutch your pearls, gag you with a spoon. And I'm going to talk about gagging yourself with a spoon and pearls. Anyway, Rudy Giuliani had an interview with a fake, is it a fake news reporter, a right-wing fake news reporter? Is that what this was about?
Borat.
Borat.
He goes around setting up politicians in America. He did one movie years ago, and I don't know how any politician can't know who he is right now, why they keep falling for this shit year after year. It's beyond me.
Yeah, I just don't know. But I think the greater point is that the timing. What the hell's the
Yeah.
timing? So they dump Hunter Biden's laptop in Giuliani's lap, which I hope nobody ever gets in Giuliani's lap. And then all of a sudden, Giuliani has this piece come out from a Hollywood person that does this to everybody. So what is this, sicking attack dogs? What do you ladies think?
Lynn, go ahead. You're our guest.
You're our guest.
That's
I feel
first.
like I'm at home. Like, no.
You are.
I think that, first of all, this is an interesting visual, but I guess it's just weird because, like, what we're trying to change, right, is that people should not focus on distraction. And, like, I just don't really see what this has to do with where our democracy is hanging in the balance.
Amen, sister.
Yeah, this is
nothing to do with.
Yeah, this is I was talking to one of our good friends the other night about this, and she is more into the hard news, the hard political aspect of things, and she wants to stay away from entertaining. It's been my contention, if you're going to use an entertainment platform, you're going to have to mix it up a little bit. This is why we're hoping we're bringing a little bit of entertainment with really what's happening in the here and now, you know, as far as issues and policies and things like this, because we can sit here all day and we can talk to you guys till your eyes glaze over and you start drooling, which I do on a regular basis. So, yeah, we wanted to cover this Giuliani thing, and I wanted to bring in the Borat piece to talk about it. Let me know if you guys hear this, and then we'll get off this topic as soon as possible. Let's see.
Yag Shamash, I here to defend America's mayor, Rudolph Giuliani. What was an innocent, sexy time encounter between a consenting man and my 15-year-old daughter had been turned into something disgusting by fake news media. I warn you, anyone else try this and Rudolph will not hesitate to reach into his legal briefs and whip out his subpoenas. Dziękuję.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, we know they are scum in their personal life. Yes, they are, all of them, I think, at least most of
Can
them.
I just say, you know, come on. This was the easy target. It's Giuliani. How many young girls that came up to him and acted like they even were interested in him? I mean, I think lots of old men, especially somebody like him, would fall for this crap. But, you know, he's disgusting. We all know they're disgusting. We all know that they have issues with this. I mean, over and over and over, it's coming out. So I'm not shocked by this. Giuliani's a douchebag leader.
Yeah, and, you know, I'll put Bill Clinton in the same class of pervert. You know, sorry for Bill Clinton lovers, but cigars, really? Cigars, the president of the United States, get off of it. Let's get back to policy and keep your bedroom door locked, morons. Anyway.
He's just a dumbass to not know who Borat is and to fall for this. I mean, how many times are they going to keep freaking doing this?
Now, here's a real mover and shaker from the past, and he was just saying, I was just tucking my shirt in too. I'm sure he was. Didn't he get busted in one of those little roll-down window rooms with, you know, never mind. Let's move on to something that's got some basis. And
he got caught tubing.
He got caught tubing. We're going to talk about tubing on Beauty and the Boomer. So that's our entertainment show. So anyway, what's this? What's this show?
This is a couple of clips from Jason Burmis just kind of breaking down this whole Hunter Biden versus, you know, Borat and Giuliani.
All right, let's see what we got.
So, want to kind of do an update really quickly on Hunter Biden, the emails, the allegations, why this all matters, why it continues to matter. Number one, the emails are real. You know, I get it. It's funny to watch Borat set up politicians. I loved the original Borat. I think it's hilarious. I'm going to be watching the sequel. But I think it's really disturbing that every mainstream media outlet goes with this story of Giuliani when we still haven't seen the footage, and it could be highly doctored and edited. We don't know. And I'm not defending the guy. If he does something pedo-like because this woman was presented as like 15 or 16 apparently, even though she was 24, deceptive altogether, but you know how I feel about, I'm not even a fan of Giuliani, period. But what I'm not a fan of is that this has taken over the actual story of the laptop, the high-level corruption of not only the Biden family, but a generation that has become used to outright nepotism, political corruption, and doing mental gymnastics to apologize for cartel-like criminals, like the real gangsters, and that's what they are. And when you go to Hunter Biden, and you see what happened with Burisma, and you see, you know, again, other people's relatives in there, John Kerry's son, etc., you know what that thing was. And they were already under investigation in their own country. And I'm sorry, it's not cool, and it's not right when you have Joe Biden up there with Richard Haass of the CFR, who, again, is like, you know, the guy who brags about being the puppet master and that there's more than nation states. And he says he goes to the Ukraine and he has $1 billion, and he had already cut a backdoor deal with Poroshenko and others to have the prosecutor who was going to investigate his son fired because he was investigating his son. And when there was pushback, he goes, well, then you don't get the $1 billion. I'm on a plane in 6 hours. Well, son of a bitch. He got fired. Brags about it.
I agree with Burmis. To tell you what, Burmis has been doing some great work this last week or two, man. He's really hitting it out of the park.
Yeah. Lynn, what do you think about that Burisma thing? I mean, somebody got paid off $1 billion, and that somebody was the Ukrainian government, right?
Well, first, what I think about it is I really enjoy Shanda's comment. Like, I enjoy the research he did, right? So what I didn't hear was a ton of inflammatory comments. What I heard was information being presented. And so that's what's most important to me in our journalists' reporting style.
Yeah. That's why I like Burmis.
I learned a lot.
Yeah, no, and again, you know, they were talking about last night in the debate. Trump was beating up on Biden for his kid's crap, and you know, his kid was using the vice president and his power to make his way in the world. What is Trump's kids doing?
Exactly, they're doing the same thing. Nepotism is rampant.
Yeah, so you know, if you're gonna throw stones, don't live in a crystal house. There's part 2 to this, right?
Yeah, I think there's one more clip.
Yeah, this one's a little shorter, but let's hear what you gotta say.
So what we do here is we try to stay grounded in reality and not play team baseball. But when you look at what happened in 2016 with those emails that came out through WikiLeaks, what they try to do? They tried to say Russia, completely disproven. Some people still believe it today. What did they start?
Hold on, you guys.
Russia,
Every time I hear that, all I hear is Marsha.
Disproven. Okay. Already completely disproven. But hey, the facts aren't the facts anymore. Right now we're going to run with big stories from Sacha Baron Cohen, who we did a video on today because he's been calling for censorship and he's been twisting the facts. And this guy wants authoritarianism, and it's sad. You know, and he did so through an op-ed piece, you know, saying the Nazis, you know, could get political ads on Facebook, you know, in 2020. Meanwhile, Time magazine, which he used as his vehicle, had Hitler on their cover many times. It was Time Man of the Year 1938.
Valid point.
Much, Sasha?
Yeah,
So those were valid points. Sasha has been calling for censorship of the right. And, you know, we know this is a slippery slope. When they come for the right, then they come for the extreme, you know, the left, the opposite of that. And that's what we're seeing. I'm not giving kudos to
room. Because if you're okay with someone you don't agree with, right? It's interesting because it's the same thing over and over and over. If I can get you to feel that someone else's issue doesn't affect you and the marginalization of that thing has no effect on you, it's just dividing until the numbers aren't enough to get support.
No, absolutely.
So I think it's dangerous when it happens on either side because you've got to listen to perspectives so you can find common ground. The goal to live in this melting pot is not for us to always agree. It's how do we have and foster a culture of healthy debate in our differences.
What a wonderful concept. I'm going to speak to that in a second, but I've got to say that you said no matter which side does it, Lynn. I think the Hollywood side calls for censorship more than the other side does these days.
They do.
You know, like Meathead and Alyssa Shalano and a lot of these the Hollywood elites, these millionaires that aren't going to really be hurting through these times of crisis nearly like the 99%. So again,
but you know what's sad, guys? Like that makes me think about us. Well, what if we had millions? Well, for one, we'd all have microphones, right? But they have the same opportunity we do to be informed and share things in a way where you're not trying to limit. Like if you really want to help, like take a look at yourself. What are you doing to help? Are you helping with your personal goal only?
No.
Or are you trying to really have a conversation?
No, absolutely. And Shanda brought this up the other day. She was losing her shit about, you were losing your shit, Shanda, about how these Hollywood people are losing their shit because they don't have a platform. So they're having read parties and Zoom meetings and stuff.
God.
And this is what you're saying, Lynn. They don't care about us. They're trying to bring the focus to them. And it's working, of course, because they've got their little following, their thousands of minions, and some of them deserve credit for acting. But Jesus Christ, we got a pandemic. You know, the sun's ready to explode. The water's being out, and they're doing this. It's business as usual for Hollywood. So support the Biden, support the neolib. Oh my God, clutch the pearls when somebody comes up with some substantive fact on issues that are going to kill you. So yeah, I'm so in line.
And they're like
with
so late to the party. I've seen, you know, I'm bringing my perspective, right? And out of nowhere, I've seen like 5 Black leaders in the past 2 weeks come out and launch like comprehensive plans. And I want to know that, right? But you've got to give us time to read it. Like I can't read the entire document when I already voted. Like we've been voting already for weeks.
Yeah.
So we needed this information as a celebrity. Like you guys had the money in March. Like
Yep. They could have been all over this.
We can digest it and we can talk about it and we can be ready to go to the polls with that information. But you cannot just throw things at us a week before Election Day because Election Day is
already voted.
No,
exactly.
We're already November 4th. We're starting a new election cycle. I need you guys to understand, like, we cannot wait another 2 years, or I'll say another year and a half, right, for like filing date for the next large seat races. We've got to be checked in November 4th every year, ready to go. We're starting then.
Let me see if I can kick the mics down. They're saying we're too loud.
Yeah, we are kind of loud.
Yeah, we're
like
kind of loud. Yeah, this is
yelling.
Audio problems as usual. Let me kick it down. All right.
Never ending. Poor Oz.
I think this is going to be better. I think, yeah, it looks better to me. I kicked mine down. Sorry, we're screaming. We're too loud. That should be better. Let me know, Joyce.
You're still pretty loud in my ears, but I don't know if that's my system.
Yeah, it's probably my big mouth. Yeah, let's just give it a second. Joyce, is it better? Brahm, is it better? You guys have the ear for this.
Brahm, tell us.
Someday audio is going to love Oz.
If I could get one wish from that genie I hung out with last week, I would wish for you to never have audio problems.
Yeah, I think you better start talking to God.
She do it. She do it. No, is that she do it?
Brahm says it's better. Brahm's got to get here. He's been on the show, you know. Joyce, yeah, much better. Okay, let's see. We won't break anybody's skulls today. What is this?
Oh, well, this is, the mainstream media. So ABC, CBS, BBC, MSNBS, and CNN are all Rudy Giuliani, Rudy Giuliani, Rudy Giuliani, Rudy Giuliani. And Fox News, of course, is Hunter Biden, Hunter Biden.
Hunter Biden, Hunter Biden. Okay, so that makes sense. And who owns all these ABCs? The corporate overlords?
The 5 corporate overlords that own all of the mainstream media in America?
Well, this should be signaling to everybody who they want to win the election, obviously Joe Biden. They're tired of the loose cannon in the White House, I got to say. I am too. But again, we're not advocating how you vote. I do want to ask the question. It's Friday. I'm going to ask it again all next week. Who's going to win? Lynn, who do you think's going to win? Who do you think's going to win? Not who you want to win. Who do you think's going to win?
What, guys? When I'm looking at this from a strategy perspective as an organizer in the state of Washington, doesn't matter who wins
Yeah, we're all
the presidential
screwed.
election. What
Well-
matters to me is actually the lieutenant governor race.
Well,
Yeah,
who's
right.
who's going to edge out or landslide the others? And it certainly won't be the American public.
It's hard to call
Because the
right
thing
now.
is also the electoral college. So
Right, exactly. Who cares what the popular vote is?
it's the monkey wrench.
Serious, I voted this morning and then I flushed.
Yeah, I dropped mine off yesterday. I'm still saying Biden is going to edge out by just the tiniest bit, but you never know. The polls are so close right now. It's too hard to call.
Well, I think last month, pretty much everybody in our family at Uphill was saying that Trump was going to edge him out. Now it's getting about 50-50 split. I still think Trump's going to edge out Biden.
I just can't say those words, and I just honestly I cannot go there.
I know. I
As an organizer, that just really
I know.
when you listen to people, right? When you go into communities, when people like when you're a trusted messenger and you hear what people are going through, I just could not.
I know.
I wouldn't know what to tell people, right? Because people call me, I'm sure people call you guys and they're like, okay, you get it. So what do we do? I'm going to need some time to understand how to answer that question.
Yeah, well, that
We're
question.
going to get behind Bernie Sanders and his first 100-day policies.
Oh, yeah, we sure are. Al Walsky says the corporatists will win because they own both sides. Absolutely.
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 The American people are going to lose.
Yeah,
Blah, blah.
I had a short, curt, not so friendly discussion with somebody the other day. I said, just pull the fork out of your ass because we're on to the next election cycle. This one's done. So whoever comes out, comes out. I wanted to bring up the big news of the week. Sounds like the Russian/Iranian propaganda victims of American propaganda.
I like how we're Iranian sympathizers.
Yeah, now it's what is it? Iranian, Russian, Chinese, Ukrainian, whatever.
Yeah.
It's we're just terrible. I put a post from your girlfriend. She's got a girlfriend. She kind of looks like Abe. Is she related? I put a post, and I did it on purpose to one of the Indivisible groups that I follow and I participate in, and it was this post. And what I got was, and before I play it, the response I got was the gag me with a spoon style of Crystal Ball verifies why she washed out of mainstream news reporting, and for this video to be captioned that others are useful idiots is the ultimate irony. Oz, can't you post something better than this? You have managed to divert most traffic away from this Facebook page. Now let's take a listen to what I clipped in here, and then we'll see. We'll see what that is. And the traffic on that page was like...
Right.
There from my friend Chuck Ross. Rachel Maddow reported this as a serious story and then had the gall to say that she was puzzled why Iran was trying to harm Trump by posing as Proud Boys to threaten Democratic voters. This was a line that was picked up by a lot of resistance Twitter. Well, I don't know, maybe because they knew that idiots like her are going to report it as fact.
I mean,
it's unbelievable.
There's a lot going on in the story. It's not like I feel like Ratcliffe and Ray are good actors, or like I totally take them at their word, or that I don't think that they're screwing around and have nefarious intent here as well. They want to put out there this story that these acts are intended to hurt Trump.
Sure.
So that if Democrats then come and say, oh, there's Russian disinformation, that's why Joe Biden lost, or whatever they have some leg to stand on. I mean, none of these people are good actors. I actually think, to me, when I look at that email, which is so clownishly ridiculous, it underscores how stupid this whole conversation has been from the jump.
That's exactly right.
And I remember this. I mean, I sort of feel like the fight over who it benefits is irrelevant.
Yes.
It doesn't benefit anyone. No
It's just
one's mind
dumb.
is being made up by this. No one is changing their mind based on their, vote Trump or else email. Literally no one. So people just think about this. Joe Biden is spending over $1 billion on election influence operations, if you want to put it that way.
So sick
and
that
even
people
those
say that,
billions of dollars, it's very hard to move the needle, even a little bit. It's marginal. It's marginal.
All right, Shanda.
So
go ahead,
need
Lynn.
people to understand how
Let Lynn go.
that was. She said that they spent $1 billion for a marginal effect. And we're in a pandemic and we have sent people $1,200. That's what's gross about that.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing's gross.
Yeah, it is gross. You know,
Grossed out on a daily basis.
It's just flinging more poop out there for people to eat up. And I put that in there.
Don't eat poo.
Yeah, I put that in there just to highlight the mass media manipulation of noise and news and pushing propaganda for their corporate overlords. And my God, critical thinking has been lost from at least many, not everybody, of the 60-year-old on up, because they rely on the Cronkites and the Brinkleys and the Rathers from all the old days. And even some of that stuff was pretty damn sketchy, like the Vietnam War thing, the Gulf of Tonkin, and we have all this, and you talk about journalists and you're bagging on Crystal Ball for washing out. She didn't get washed out, and believe me, I don't have my face in her ass all the time. I don't agree with her all the time, but it just happens they talk about topics that we go for. But MSNBS fired Ed Schultz. They fired Phil Donahue. They fired Charles Grodin back in the day. I mean, these people were actually asking hard questions. So when you come at Crystal Ball on a YouTube channel that gets, maybe 500,000 views over a period of so long, compared to the millions of people that watch these bullshit propaganda networks like Fox and MSNBS and CNN Not News, all this stuff, I'm kind of offended, but I'm not surprised. So that's it for that. I just really?
Yeah, I agree.
Really? We lose. we lose. I just wanted to show the metric on this one. People do go over and listen. You can't see it, but there's 57K there and 300 up. Almost 6,000 thumbs up, and there were 319 thumbs down. I can just about guarantee you that those 319 thumbs down were from people who watch MSNBS and the likes of Chuck Todd and Rachel Maddow and Jake Tapper. So, anyway, I feel bad for them. We're not going to solve anything like this, but I did want to highlight it. I was a little butthurt, but not too bad. Anyway, let's move on to something substantive. What are we going to talk about now? This
next segment is universal healthcare, and we got quite a few different clips and stories. So
yeah, and this one specifically with universal family care. It's talking about the stay-at-home moms that that have to go to work, that need that support. So let's hear what they got to say. I'm all for this. This is part of universal health care in a big way. So I believe this 100%. So this is David Dayen on Rising the other day.
Get that. We're one of 3 countries on Earth that doesn't have paid sick leave. One of, I believe, 13 that doesn't have paid parental leave. You just mentioned that our long-term care system is essentially not paid for. There are less than a dozen companies that sell long-term care insurance, and the premiums are absolutely out of reach for most people. You have to draw down all of your assets to $2,000 or less in order to get Medicare to pick up long-term nursing care. The system doesn't work. And so we were thinking about what can be done to make something more coherent. And the idea is a social insurance system, like we did with Social Security when we had elder poverty at astronomical rates in the 1930s. One payroll tax fund that covers all of these aspects of family.
Yeah, we should be embarrassed at how we take care of our mothers and fathers, our grandparents in this country with care. I mean, yeah, well, you got hospice, and that's good up to till the 90 days before they die. But all the time up to that, it's like, hey, you're on your own. You have to sell your house, all your property. You got to be in poverty to get any support at all. And this is a national disgrace. This is the elder care of the universal family care concept. Did you guys want to speak to this till we get to the next segment, or no?
No, you can keep going. I'm good.
Okay.
I would.
Okay.
When I look at this, when you the numbers are astounding. When you look at just family caregiving, this is literally it's 40 million Americans have to figure out how to struggle with this. It's not even tabulated. that's the thing that I don't feel like people understand. Like, you say that and it feels like an entitlement, but we're all paying for this in unpaid labor, and they have data on it. They know how hard it is.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And that has not moved the needle at all, and that's very sad.
Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely, Lynn. You're right on. They're going to speak to this.
Get that. We're one of 3 countries on Earth that doesn't have paid sick leave. One of, I believe, 13 that doesn't have paid parental leave. You just mentioned that our long-term care system is essentially not paid for. There are less than a dozen companies that sell long-term care insurance, and the premiums.
Did we just hear this one?
Out of reach for most people. You have to draw down all of your assets to $2,000.
Yeah, we heard that one. Let's try this one.
Could that system also ensure that people who are doing that care work, who have historically been,
that's what I was going to talk about,
dramatically underpaid, have been some of the lowest paid and most sort of, I don't know what the right word is, but the lowest paid and the treated with the least respect of any occupation in our history, largely because this was historically done by Black and brown women. How do we incorporate into that system a way of making sure that they are themselves getting paid and able to provide for their own families?
Yeah, undervalued is how I'd explain
it.
Exploited.
And what we need to do is
undervalued's too kind.
Value them with a system that is fully funded, that enables them to have a good job with good benefits, rather than the situation that we have today. We have a number of stories about
I'm going to lose my mind on this one.
Of care workers who are growing older and are disproportionately. I mean, 93% of child care workers are women. Over half of child care providers are minority-owned businesses.
That's what I just wrote down.
Disproportionately Black and brown, as you say. These people need they need the support for their own families and for their own jobs as much as they need support in the jobs that they create. And I think by virtue of having a universal, fully funded system, you will build into that system dignity and a living wage for those people.
And then finally, Dave.
All right.
I agree. So I live in a retirement community. I have worked in 3 different Alzheimer's wards. I've wiped asses for a living, and it is the most exploitative, low-paid job. And therefore, you get caregivers who don't give a shit. I've seen so much abuse in this industry because people are underpaid, undertrained, short-staffed, short-handed. And I see one of the biggest issues is because it's state and federally ran.
You know, I consider my second home to be in Omaha, Nebraska. That is where a huge concentration of my favorite cousins live. So I tend to go there several times a year. My favorite cousin is a caregiver there, and I have witnessed her and all of her, like, you know, a bunch of her friends, right? The majority of the Black women I know there work in those roles. They've had to run to pick up their check because they don't know when the account's going to run out of money.
Yeah.
Like, it's a normal practice to not be able to be able to take care of your family. And this isn't like some, you know, going to somebody's house as a private entity or like you're doing something for a friend. These are centers.
Yeah.
These are literally like places you go, a place you clock in with a contract for the Department of Health.
I've been waiting, and I'm not kidding, 11 weeks to be paid by the state of Washington for some caregiving that I did back in July.
My mother's a caregiver. This is so as a lot of you know, I've shared my story. So I'm medically retired from UW at 27. My mother moved back here to take care of me so that I could get healthy again. And it took me a year to get away so that she could get paid for that.
Yeah, yeah. And then they don't pay them anything.
And then they don't
on
pay
the dollar. $1.18 an hour. Who the hell gets paid $1.18 an hour?
Well, I did fix that part, but it's like only because I know what I'm looking for.
Right.
But I'm supposed to be the one that's sick.
Yeah.
So that's not helpful.
Yeah. I
so broken.
You know, briefly, there comes points and times in our lives where we have to decide. We have to make big decisions, especially when it comes to child care, what kind of job are you going to have that's going to enable you to, take care of your child while you go to work, because both parties, go to work. But the big one is the family care, the mother and father. Back in 2002, I had to make a decision whether I was going to do with my career or I was going to take care of my parents. Obviously, I wanted to take care of my parents. To hell with my career. Okay, truly, honest to God, because my career was just going to be a career and I'd have a whatever to write, everything else. But my parents, my mom was paralyzed. Okay, I did the math just to see, and it was going to cost exponentially more for my parents and lose their estate and go into poverty. Meanwhile, my dad's still pretty functional. So it was an easy choice for me. I'm going to go and become a caregiver. The state wanted to pay me for being a caregiver of my own parents, some ridiculously small amount.
Yeah.
But they wanted to bill me back after that stint as caregiver was done. Of all the money that they paid me. So that's the whole joke.
Oh, yeah, because don't even
you're
get
going
into
to pay
the taxes
for it.
if you're a caregiver. Those DSHS taxes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
I've been allotted $275 for 105 hours. 105 hours of my life, I'm going to get paid $275, and they're going to take taxes out of that, so it'll only be about.
And I want to talk to you about that for real.
Yeah,
that's the state. That's Washington State.
Yeah, that's insane. And again, I just said thanks, but no thanks. You're no help, but I understand. Bye bye. So I took care.
My grandmother had to sell the only.
You have to sell everything.
You had to sell out. You have to become poverty strict. You got to bring yourself. So I just said to hell with it and took care of my parents, my mom, for 8 years until she died.
And then there's predators out there like bridge builders. We have this co-op bridge builders that's supposed to come in for these people that don't have families that can oversee somebody's estate and getting them, hospice care. And they're predators. They just feed on them. They take their stuff. That's I witness it all the time in my community.
I just hate that they make them sell the property. My grandmother had property that her father left her that our family's owned since 1920. Now, it was only about maybe $10,000 worth of property, right? But it was ours. It was something that was ours. We were forced to sell that so we could take care of our grandmother. The one thing that we all have a tie to where we were all birthed. And it wasn't even worth that. It wouldn't even have helped her expense. It didn't help her expenses at all.
It's rigged game.
Like, it was almost worthless. We were paying more in taxes, but we wanted it.
Yeah, it's a rigged game.
And she had a right for it to be in her name because that was the legacy of her father. So it's sad because then it's almost like if you try to keep it in the family, that's actually illegal.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, Joyce Milberg. I'm a killjoy. I could never talk about all this because I think we should turn our backs on the government and have small communities with our own greenhouses, no more having to work, build our own homes. And, Joyce, you're right. The only thing I would throw in there is the government is sucking us dry. Human capital, which we've talked about, so bad that we have to be involved in it. We have to do both, I believe. And we've got to hold these bastards accountable. I think we covered that enough. There's another segment, but I don't want to go into that more. Shanda,
pretty insightful. Jimmy Dore, why GOP will lose.
Okay, let's hear what Jimmy's got to say. Come on, Jimmy.
So here's why the Republicans are going to lose. And the Democrats should also, but this is why the Republicans are going to lose. So this is what's happening right now. Millions of Americans have lost health insurance in this pandemic-driven recession. So that was from August 28th.
Oh, yeah.
Here, economic fallout from COVID-19 continues to hit lower-income Americans the hardest. Half of adults who say they lost a job due to the coronavirus outbreak are still unemployed. Because, the billionaires got even more rich from all that stimulus money, baby. That's what happened. That's what's going on.
True.
The ugly truth about millions of American jobs, they are not coming back. Another ugly truth is that they were shitty and exploitive jobs to begin with.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So this is the climate we're in. Hey, wave of evictions sweeps the U.S. amid impasse over coronavirus protections. This is what's happening. There's food lines everywhere. People are getting evicted. Nobody has a job because of coronavirus, and the government isn't doing anything to help. Well, here's what the government's doing to help people.
Does your skinny bill contain another round of stimulus checks for all Americans?
No, it doesn't. But it does address an awful lot of things that we do agree on. And I don't think the fact that those checks are not a part of this package, as others have said, is a good argument for not doing what we are laying on the floor, most of which is completely without controversy.
So what he's saying is, I have a bill for coronavirus relief. It doesn't involve actual relief to the people. So what the Republican leader is saying of the Senate, it says we're looking out for Wall Street. One of the things we agree on.
Shocker.
So that's what him and the Democrats agree on. So I don't see a problem just because we're not helping regular people. We agree on helping Wall Street and the richest people in the country, and that's what we're doing. That's what he's saying. Mitch McConnell is like if an overdraft was a person. So there he is coming right out saying, we're not doing anything for the people. We're not going to do anything for you. Literally, we're not going to do anything for you. And he doesn't care.
Did I cut this one? Oh,
Yeah, and they're going to send him back to office in Kentucky.
Darth Turtle, man. That pissed me off so bad the other day. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, there's no
donate to his opponent.
Yeah, and this is, talk about collusion. The setup, the power brokers within the Democratic Party are helping him do this, while all the time, saying, oh, we're going to feed the people. We feed the people. We do all this bullshit. They allow this to happen.
We feed the people shit.
What I would love to see, and I talk to electeds and candidates when I'm talking to them just about what my community needs. And I tell them all the time, like, the most powerful thing you could do in your campaign is to lead with action.
Yep.
So I would prefer to see less fancy campaign videos where you're just talking. If it's got to be a video, make it a video of something where you're actually doing something.
Yeah.
Show me an example of some policy you passed, like lead with action. Like all these videos of tearing down this person, that person is absolutely not of any use to me.
It's pointless.
You know what the Dems in my area are leading with? I got flyers in the mail the other day, very expensive, good cardstock ones. Raising taxes. Since when is that a Democratic talking point?
Raising taxes.
Yeah, they're going to raise taxes. It says right on there. I'm going to bring it all for Beauty and the Boomer. And you can see the fear that the right is pushing in my area, too. I mean, we're talking Antifa's coming to get you in your home.
Are you in King County?
I'm in Clallam County. So I'm going to
So
bring the...
I'm going to bring the property tax. We're doing a tax raise because they're going to do the behavioral
Yeah, they're
health
bragging about it. They're bragging about raising the taxes. Now, this is something that the Republicans have embraced my whole life, and now the Democrats are embracing.
We have to, Len, you're exactly right. You're talking about direct actions, and people who run for office should be demonstrating what they're doing with direct actions instead of going like this BS town hall that Rick Larson did the other night. Blah, 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 blah. Nothing. Just reading from the congressional record and not taking a firm stance on anything that's going to help the people. So again, you're absolutely right. I don't want somebody who's been in Washington for 40 years running for office anymore. We need people who have been out in the streets.
I'd at least want them to come back with their congressional voting record and say, this is where I fought for you. Like, stop doing this. Show me.
They haven't.
It's on there. Just like when they vote in Olympia, they have rolls where you see their records. Like, I'm less interested. I mean, especially if you're an incumbent, right? Like if you're a new candidate, then it completely makes sense to me why you would have other conversations. But what I would also encourage you to do is, just like with a cover letter, that's how I would appreciate you approaching your campaign. Show me what your previous experience and how it translates.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear the bashing. You're obviously on the ticket against each other. We already know that.
Lynn, they're going to come back with you with word salad, congressional votes, and all this bullshit, and yet we're still here today with what they're trying to sell you. I agree with you, but there is only a handful that have been fighting for us in proportion to the 535 that are in our Congress.
Yep.
There's I would say maybe 35 if we're lucky, that actually have been trying to do stuff. The rest of them have been following the Schumers and the McConnells and the Pelosi's. They've been following and doing exactly what they said. Instead of standing up to them, getting on the bully pulpit of the public square and saying, fuck you, this is what we need. We're dying out here. Get your ice cream and shove it up your ass. We need some help. Mitch McConnell, go to hell. You don't give a shit about anybody but your fucking corporations. Yeah. That's what we need. We need to come out and just be bold. And if you don't go big, you're going to get screwed. That's all I can say.
The thing is, like here in the Northwest, they have what they call a like the Seattle Freeze. We don't like to talk about stuff. You know, keep it like so polite. Like, let me tell you, polite conversation is for dinner parties.
Yep.
This is not a game.
Dinner parties in Medina.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is about like our children. We're talking about keeping it polite about people in cages. Like this is not polite conversation.
No, it's
if
not.
If you want to talk about something polite, go have a polite conversation. These are not. I love this meme where it says like, you know, we're not having different political views if we're talking about how high a building zoning should be. That's a political view issue.
Privileged.
We're talking about human rights. These are things that you should all be out there discussing.
It's to
and
that
having
point.
Conversations about, not just like we'll talk about it later. No,
now.
Okay, so I don't want to be a buzzkill, but if we don't start moving forward, we're going to have a 3-hour show.
All right, here we go.
That's why I'm a producer.
All right, this is Chinky Uger. You want to tell us about this?
I stumbled across this. This is from March of 2010, and this is Jimmy and Jinx talking for the first time on TYT, and I find it so profound that Jimmy Dore is saying the same thing almost 11 fucking years later. Just listen to the clip.
Yeah, this is I've got
Speaks to his character.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the guys outside of the political aspect that is saying the same thing like Bernie Sanders said several years ago. Here we go.
Solid ass lib, okay, as it turns out.
Is that loud?
I like to think of myself as a free thinker. I'm certainly not a Democrat.
All right, hey, bless your heart. Okay, you come to the right place.
Barack Obama broke my heart.
Tell me about that.
Oh, I thought he was, I believed him, and I thought he was going to do what he said he was going to do, and then he didn't. And, you have to ask yourself, but you want to solve the healthcare problem? Here's how you do it. You say everybody who has been denied or can't, you can buy into Medicare. You can buy into it.
Hello? Has this guy come to the right place?
And
I wrote an article about that.
And that's it. And here's my problem with it. So it would do three things. It would fix the problem. It would do it for cost because people are buying in, and third, it would can make sure that there would be Democratic majorities in Congress for decades, and it would make him one of the best presidents ever. They'd put him on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
So you have to ask yourself, why doesn't he do it?
Well, that's exactly the question I was going to ask you. So what do you think? Why doesn't he do it?
The only answer I can come up with is he's one of them.
Uh-oh.
Yes!
That's where the disappointment comes.
Yes.
This was 2010.
He never wanted it in the first place. Other people will say to me, well, he had to make a deal with the farmer. He did. They learned wrong lessons from Bill Clinton. They were wrong. You don't base your reform on the people who are screwing up the system in the first place.
Exactly.
We all know what I like to go on Facebook and stuff, and it's like these people are like, the government can't run anything. And I said, you just ask them the question, what is the most efficient health care service in the country that is the most popular? It's Medicare. Mm-hmm. And they can't, but the doctors don't like. I don't care what the doctors like. I know what is the customer service, is the approval ratings highest for Medicare, and it's the most efficient one we have. So why don't we use that?
Except there might be one better in terms of how much people like it, and that's Veterans Care. And Veterans Care is totally socialist.
Yes.
The doctors, the hospitals, everything's government run.
Wow, Chink.
Exactly.
I just, that made me respect Jimmy all the more to know that he was singing the same song, same tune almost 11 years ago.
Yep. Universal health care, that's what we need to do. Anything else is bullshit, and anybody who tries to sell you anything else is bullshit too. Sorry, we're done. Next. Lynn, I haven't heard your feelings on this. What?
I'm actually not surprised that it's like a similar commentary, for several years later. But I think that, you guys, I'm just going to fall back on this probably all the time. Until we get people on the same knowledge level, I'm not sure that we're going to be able to storm the towers. Or really, we're in this incremental stage because we can't even get people to... we are in a pattern, right? Look at the numbers of people coming out of the polls, right? That shows what they truly feel is like the step, but that's not it. And so how are we pushing the needle on changing that narrative so that they can force the issue? Because even when you look at who's turning out and writing letters to Congress and all those things, or whatever avenue of you feel best for change, those numbers are still so low to the amount of people that live here. So they're able to tell us that our opinion, doesn't matter, because only 50% in the polls of people say they even want a stimulus. We've got to say, we want it now. All of us. and we've got to understand how to do it. The sad part is we probably haven't changed much as far as understanding that in 10 years. And that's why he still can tell us that same thing and it sounds fresh.
Well, they tried to get Medicare back in the day several times. And then when the Democrats had all that power, Daschle and Dean just screwed us out of having even, I think it was a public option or whatever. So it's a rigged game. It's all the donors. It's so old. And Melissa says that she has a hard time listening to Jimmy because he's always going back, and
he does gloat. I hear you.
Yeah, he gloats. But, you know, he is right. And I highlight that, too. I mean, people who are right, who have been right, Chris Hedges for years, for decades, and Chomsky, for that matter, and West, and, you know, a lot of these other folks, they've been right. Medea Benjamin, they've been right the whole time. Yet we still allow this shit to go on. What do we have here? Is this your evil twin, Shanda?
This is, yeah, Nazi Barbie.
Okay, let's hear what.
Just a reminder of why she's Nazi Barbie.
Okay, Nazi Barbie.
Will pack the court, but he was against it in 1983. Look at this video that we found.
President Roosevelt clearly had the right to send to the United States Senate and the United States Congress a proposal to pack the court. It was totally within his right to do that. He violated no law. He was legalistically absolutely correct, but it was a bonehead idea. It was a terrible, terrible mistake to make, and it put in question, for an entire decade, the independence of the most significant body, including the Congress, in my view, the most significant body in this country, the Supreme Court of the United States of America.
Kayleigh, he answered the question in '83. Why isn't he answering it now in 2020?
Because the answer is he would do the exact opposite of what he said back before AOC plus 3 and the radical left became his puppeteers. He would reshape the judiciary. That's why he can't say it out loud. And as he even noted there, Joe Biden's former self, when FDR tried this, it was a boneheaded idea and one that the Senate excoriated him for, saying it would fundamentally reshape the public. And make no mistake, that's what Kamala Harris, the most radical senator, and Joe Biden and AOC plus 3, his handlers, would do to this country.
And that is why she's called Nazi Barbie.
Oh, my God. Oh,
as much as that Joe Biden thing was what it was, I mean, her thinking that AOC and the plus 3 squad is controlling Biden is fucking laughable.
Yeah.
I am so sick and tired of the right toting this narrative that Bernie Sanders' wing of the party is in control of everything, when we know damn well that nothing we say or do has an effect on these neolibs.
Donald Trump is less of a sock puppet for the oligarch than Joe Biden is. And that's just the way it is. Just the way it is. We've got,
Bernie's first 100 days we have to talk about it. I know we've been Bernie silent lately. I think that's just because we're all so butthurt still, but let's talk about Bernie's first 100 days.
All right. Bernie's first 100 days. Let's hear what he's got to
Alternative
say.
reality, laying out for me what he described as his own 100-day agenda to rival the first 100 days agenda of a Biden administration.
I'm going to lay out a 100-day agenda which speaks to the need to begin the process of moving toward Medicare for all. My legislation, 4-year legislation, first year lower the eligibility age from 65 to 55 and cover all the kids. I'm going to introduce that bill. Immediately, we're going to raise that minimum wage to $15 an hour, equal pay for equal work. Immediately, a massive infrastructure program to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure and create millions of good-paying jobs. Immediately, making it easier for workers to join unions, et cetera, et cetera. So we have got to lay out an agenda that speaks to the struggles and the desperation of working-class Americans, and finally, tell the corporate elite they have had their day, and we are going to stand up and fight for policies that workers desperately need.
Grandpa Bernie got a haircut, but I love that Bernie's got so much leverage. We're going to get some shit done in the first 100 days.
What? Really?
You mean he doesn't have any leverage?
What?
What?
They're not going to give him shit. They're going to go austerity on him.
He's not going to get 15 minimum wage? What are you talking
No,
about?
they're not going to get anything. Lynn, do you think they'll get anything out of that?
I mean, sure.
Sure.
Why not?
I thought that.
Go with that.
I thought that clip was from last year when he was running. Is that a new
No,
clip?
that's from a day ago.
Really?
Thursday, yeah.
Somebody needs to tell him he's not in the running for president of the United States.
I know. Where the fuck does he think he's getting all this leverage?
What?
Sky's the limit. I mean, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that people aren't going to be screaming for that, but if they they might not even give him what is he trying to become Secretary of Labor in a Biden administration?
But maybe that's why he's doing that. Maybe that is his, like, okay, so there's rumors.
No, I get it.
Rumors about people and what they'll do and get appointed to.
Yeah,
Right.
I get it.
I support
Maybe
what
he's
Bernie
just crafting
says.
the narrative. I mean, the thing is, I've learned that, these teams are the same everywhere. So the corporations, the media specialists, this is just someone's spin on something. Like they've decided, let's warm the room up, see how people feel.
Yeah.
It might just be to see if people think that he should be in another role, right? Because he was not successful in the primary election.
Yeah.
So they may be just testing the waters to see what people think about him going to another role.
Yeah. Well, Annie Ann says he'll be the chairman of the budget committee. I don't.
Whatever. I support Bernie. Of course, I support these policies. Absolutely. But I think they're unrealistic. But okay.
All right. I'm all for it. Is this... Ghislaine looks like she left her makeup kit in her cell.
Poor little rich girl, Ghislaine Maxwell. We had a 465-page deposition from the defamation suit against her. Virginia Roberts filed against her, and I've listened to 6 hours so far. I'm up to page 260, and so far all it is I don't remember. I don't recall. I was just hired to hire people. That was my only job. No, I never knew that. No, I didn't know that. I mean, she's combative. She's spoiled little rich girl on the stand is basically what it is. And she's digging in. She don't know nothing.
Okay.
That'll be good to our advantage, right?
So
I'll bring you guys a big report on Beauty and the Boomer on this once I finish the last 200 and whatever pages of this, but I don't see it changing. Pretty much she just doesn't know, doesn't remember, and Virginia Roberts is a liar.
Yeah, well, she doesn't play the role of Sergeant Schultz from Hogan's Heroes very well. I know nothing.
She says that. I know nothing. She is such a smart ass on the stand. Like, she attacks the lawyers constantly. Like, can you rephrase the question? I already told you I'm not answering that. She's just spoiled rich girl.
Oh, well, let's see what happens to her, huh? All right. What do we got? What's coming up here? What's this?
This is Democracy Now! I put the clip, but I can't remember what it's about. Pull the lever and find out.
Did Lynn fall out of her chair?
I think she had to go check on her son.
Oh,
Remember,
okay.
she's got a young kid at home.
Other election news, Director of National Intelligence John Ratcliffe accused Russia and Iran of taking actions to interfere in the U.S. election in a hastily arranged evening press briefing where no questions were allowed. FBI Director Christopher Wray, who President Trump is reportedly considering firing, also spoke. Ratcliffe claimed Russia and Iran had obtained some voter registration information which is often available publicly.
They got your
this
address.
data can be used by foreign actors to attempt to communicate false information to registered voters that they hope will cause confusion, sow chaos, and undermine your confidence in American democracy. To that end, we have already seen Iran sending spoofed emails designed to intimidate voters, incite social unrest, and damage President Trump.
While Ratcliffe claimed Iran was trying to damage Trump, he offered no details backing up the claim. The one example he cited appeared to show intimidation of Democratic voters. Ratcliffe accused Iran of sending threatening fake emails to some Democrats that were designed to look as if they were sent by the far-right Proud Boys. Iran called the charges baseless and absurd and denied being behind the emails. Intelligence sources told Reuters it's still unclear who sent them. Democrats on the Homeland Security Committee questioned the allegations. The committee initially tweeted, quote, "Do not listen to Ratcliffe, partisan hack," unquote. That tweet was later deleted. The committee also tweeted, quote, "To clarify, these election interference operations are clearly not meant to harm President Trump."
Wow. How fucking stupid all the way around.
And the neoliberal side says, these are designed to hurt Biden.
Yeah. Did you get your Iranian Proud Boy email, Lynn?
Oh, my God.
I don't know. I'll have to ask my assistant. She probably screams through us.
I'm looking for mine. I'm waiting.
Yeah, check your spam folder.
I did get a call from the Young Republicans to my house phone.
Really?
Oh, that's just as bad.
Really? Oh, okay. Good. Were they selling cookies or what?
I wasn't home.
Oh, okay.
So their dad is clearly not working that great because I'm always home. I'm not sure why they called like the one time.
Yeah, well, maybe they got a camera or a drone outside your window. This is the super spreader report.
This is a super spreader report, and let me tell you, it's getting bad out there.
It's getting bad out there,
It's going
folks.
to be a dark winter.
Dark, cold winter.
The United States confirmed more than 71,000 new coronavirus infections Thursday, one of the worst daily tolls of the U.S. outbreak so far. North Dakota has suspended contact tracing efforts as a backlog of cases overwhelmed National Guard soldiers assigned to track down the contacts of infected people. As of Thursday, North Dakota's hospitals had just 14 intensive care unit beds available statewide. Data compiled by Johns Hopkins shows that if North Dakota were a nation, it would have the highest number of per capita COVID-19 cases in the world. In Wisconsin, a massive field hospital outside Milwaukee admitted its first COVID-19 patient Thursday as Wisconsin's infections continued to surge to record high levels. Utah Governor Gary Herbert warned Thursday the state's healthcare system is at or near capacity. In Massachusetts, Boston's school superintendent Thursday canceled plans to resume in-person learning at public schools. In Houston, Texas, teachers at dozens of schools staged sick-out protests Thursday, demanding smaller class sizes, enforced social distancing, and mask wearing, better classroom ventilation, and other safety measures at schools.
Didn't President Dump paint a real rosy picture last night in the debate of how the COVID was going, or what?
Oh, it's going great. It's almost gone.
It's almost
It's
gone.
the best COVID the world's ever had.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I survived it. You'll survive
No one's ever had a better COVID.
And we saved everybody but 220,000 people in the United States.
It's going to get bad in the next
Interesting to me
coming months.
because I'm looking at these things, and when I'm hearing what she's talking about, like with our students and the environmental concerns, it's like, man, we never fixed what happened in Flint. So like our schools systems, their water, their ventilation has never been a priority in the majority of this country.
Yep.
So like there's some school districts, we talk about it. You can go 10 minutes down the road, they, have awful air quality. And then, they've got like brand new laptops. So this infrastructure issue is just, the dial is turning. We've got to decide what we care about. We can't keep saying we don't want to use entitlement programs. And this is the thing, like just whatever you want to call it, what I call it is my child can survive till 18.
Yeah. 70% of tap water has measurable levels of lead in it now. 70%. And
I'm super excited. Lakeisha Phillips is a school board director with Federal Way Public Schools, and she's also on the state school board. And she introduced a water rights bill. They need to consider those things, right? But for some reason, it's just not. I don't know, you guys.
I do. Right. I do. They're still using like the portables in a lot of these school districts, the FEMA portable things. They just back up these FEMA trailers style. I don't know, they're FEMA.
We got them here.
They're no good. They're no good. They're inefficient. Heating, air conditioning, air
They're
cleaning.
full of toxins because they're made with industrial glues and press boards and formaldehyde and shit. Yeah,
You know what? These days, if I was raising a child and putting him through the school system, I wouldn't be doing it. I'd be whatever. Anyway, we have one more from Amy.
This is the Colorado wildfires. Colorado's burning to the ground now.
Did you guys know that we still have fires everywhere? Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking. Just checking.
In Colorado, a wildfire raging in Rocky Mountain National Park exploded in size Thursday by more than 100,000 acres, jumping the Continental Divide and leaving residents of mountain towns scrambling to evacuate. The East Troublesome Fire has grown to over 170,000 acres, the second largest wildfire ever recorded in Colorado. Meanwhile, firefighters continue to battle the largest wildfire in Colorado history, the nearby Cameron Peak Fire. Massive smoke plumes from Colorado's fires reached into the stratosphere, shrouding the sun and turning skies orange as far away as Minnesota and Wisconsin. In immigration news, The Guardian reports many of the Cameroonian asylum seekers who were recently deported en masse
Let's see if I can
were
catch the
subjected
cut.
I put that cut in there twice.
Yeah, I know. It was cranky with me today too. I just everything's cranky with Oz on Fridays. Yeah, and there are.
So you guys know it's like Saturn retrograde, right?
Yes, I know. Damn retrogrades. These planets go retrograde and just screw
So I've
my
just been
world
letting
up.
go. Like Zoom won't let me in. It's my Zoom. Talking about open the hole. It's my not whatever.
Yeah. No, I get you. Listen, I'm gonna go join the crew of the Rocinante and make an episode of The Expanse.
Tag on this dress is itching the crap out of me.
What do you have? You have bugs there or what?
No, it's a tag that's scratchy. I need to
Oh,
cut the tag
okay.
out.
All right. Just checking. Bed bugs are rampant these days.
Not up here.
Okay. Sorry.
Besides, I haven't left my house in a year.
All right. Yeah, I know. Joy and I have been hiding under the couch, and it's quite comfortable there. We have a Wipey Award today. Shanda brought this Wipey Award, and go for it, Shanda. What is it?
I love it. It's simple. It's sweet. It's Kyle Kulinski from Secular Talk. Trump during the debates. My opponent wants to give you health care. Biden. No, I don't.
Why? Why would I say something like that? Oh, my God. I'm inspired to go vote for Joe. Oh, I got to tell you. Anyway, congratulations, Kyle. You got quite a few wipies.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
Well, I'm going to start a new segment. It's called Fiorella Says, because every week or every day I find something profound that she's tweeted out. So we're just going to do a segment.
Fiorella, she's so active with her comments and everything else. And you know what I like about her is she has something to say. It's not bullshit all the time.
Right. No, she's got substance. But
Focused.
hey, you guys tune into Convo Couch. They're back up. I just saw their first video drop this morning.
They ran the debate last night. I hope they don't get knocked off for that. Along with the Wipey Award, we do have the Bonehead Ideas of the Week. And this is an idea simply in the fact of whatever gave you the idea to post this, Tommy Loren. And this is from Brianna Gray. Brianna Joel Coyle.
I just learned so much, you guys.
I know, right?
Mind blown.
Oh, my God.
Her blonde hair. God, I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm sure this was taken out of some warped concept. Well, why would you even need to say this? I'm white. My parents are white. Okay. I think the little avatar picture of you kind of
The fact that she thinks that's important is very telling about her. That's the only thing I learned.
Yeah, that's about as privileged as it gets there. I'm just like, okay. Wow. And on the other side of that coin, we got somebody who I just really detest more every day. You brought this.
Ooh, Miss Ellen DeGeneres. So her employees have started a campaign of acts of kindness because remember Ellen's whole thing was be kind and do kind things, even though she is apparently the meanest person on the earth. So now they are calling Ellen out for being mean and they are donating to the LA Food Bank. So their acts of kindness are giving to the LA Food Bank.
Ellen was the kindest. I think she's going to buy a hotel chain and become one of that mean queen from the hotel thing, isn't that? Is this being? Are we being unfair?
Leona Helmsley?
Yeah, are we being overreacting to poor little Ellen? After all,
I cannot stand her. She's as bad as Whoopi Goldberg.
Well, I think she's a little worse, but yeah,
Did Lynn freeze up or did she go to sleep?
Oh, she's
I went back to sleep.
She's reading. We put her to sleep anyway. Yeah, Ellen was off my Christmas card list about 2 months after she appeared on the Johnny Carson show way back when for the first time.
Right.
Yeah, and here's one for Fiorella Says. Is this it right here?
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
She says, we can't vote out fascism in America like they did in Bolivia because we don't have fair and free elections. We have bipartisan corruption, rigging, and censorship of journalists and voices exposing it.
Ooh, child.
Yeah. Drop the mic once again, Fiorella. And she's not...
I'm just trying to find a lie
Yeah, yeah. I tried to find
Maybe
a
I
lot.
need to read it again.
No,
Not coming out of Fee's mouth.
No, she's not. She's very astute in her observations, and we appreciate that. We love our Fee.
We love our Fee.
Let me see. Red Socialist is. I think this is the deal on Ellen. Tommy Loren. She said, "I'm white. My parents are white, and they taught me to be respectful to police. Maybe that should be the new talk. Could be. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. That's
Dude, I live in such a police state. I spent a lot of time out yesterday because I had a family emergency. And I am not kidding you. I can go 3 miles down the road and I can encounter 5 staters, state patrols, 5 sheriffs. I mean, there is more cops than there are anything in my town.
Well, do you feel safe?
No, I don't feel safe.
I know. Is that it for today?
I don't even understand why people feel that police equals safety. Like, I just want to have a conversation about that.
Yeah.
What makes you feel like that is safety? Because when I look at the Supreme Court cases, like after the shooting in Florida, right? The judges ruled that it was not the officer's role in their job to prevent or preserve other life. So, I mean, I don't understand why they feel that. Then. It's not their job to protect us.
Oh my God. No,
like,
and they
it's kind of like their
They
job to be a community. I don't know, but we need to reimagine this because the job description clearly needs an update.
Tell you what, as a poor woman, every time the cops seem to be called or around, somehow I end up going to jail or somebody I love goes to jail. It's always for something stupid and it's always money based. It's always about making money for their system.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And Chris Foster brought this to our attention. I see that Lynn isn't risking another Trump crotch incident today. Yeah.
That was terrible.
That
Lynn got stuck in Trump's crotch
Yeah.
last week.
Oh, I know, right?
I moved you over. So any crotches, we're going to stuff Shanda into the crotches now. She's in the
I got Mike Pence.
Thank you for
I got
making
stuffed in Mike Pence.
me. I would never want to be in that position ever again.
Well, we'll have to make sure that that happens on Beauty and the Boomer. Well, no, make sure it happens on Beauty and the Boomer. I think my head coming out of somebody's crotch would probably be apropos, especially if I've got the right wig on.
Okay, I got the Photoshop. I'll start working on it.
Shit. Anyway, I think that's the end of it today. I want to thank everybody. Lynn, thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any announcements
Thanks
you'd like to make?
for having me, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, actually, I'm really excited. We're having our first ASQ screening this weekend. We actually got 50 child care centers registered. Yay. And they're actually statewide. They're not just even, or actually in the county. So I'm really excited. They're not just in Federal Way. Like, that's so important for our kiddos that are home and that aren't like regularly getting out, right? So.
Great job, Lynn.
Great job. Shanda, you got some announcements?
Let's see. I'm going to take a nap because I was out late last night and I only got like 2 hours of sleep last night. But then when I get up, I am going to start working on Beauty and the Boomer. And we've got a bunch of great stuff lined up for Saturday night. But I have been working all week on our Halloween special. It is going to be so awesome. We're already getting requests to come in on Halloween night, be in the green room. Make sure you email Oz at Roar Media Live so you can get in on the action.
At gmail.com.
I think we should do something. I'm gonna invite a few people and send them over you guys' way. But one more thing, guys, if any of you guys live in the state or in my area, please let me know if you're a business owner and you have not gotten any CARES Act funding. Like the Federally Black Collective is a contractor with the Department of Commerce, and that's great information because there's up to $10,000 of funding available. It closes on the 28th. Like, my staff is waiting to help you fill out the application. Like, we know that you guys are running your businesses and you can't, but like, this is a rare opportunity, you guys. Like, I'm not sure how much they're not giving out any more stimulus checks. So there may not be many other opportunities for you guys to get business relief. And that's the only reason why I'm pushing it so hard. They're not passing out checks. So please take the one that they are offering.
Yeah. No,
absolutely. We've got, other than me grabbing the mixer, getting on the roof and trying to jump off and see if that fixes it this afternoon, we have, we have Brave New Future tonight. And Amber's got a great show lined up, and I can't remember her guest's last name because I haven't done the rundown, but it's Allison, and she's really a firecracker. We're looking forward to that. So please.
She's been waiting to get this show together.
Yeah, she has. So please go over to Rockfin, and so you can watch the show. I mean, we're going to play part of the show on YouTube, and this might upset some people. I hope it doesn't too much, but we really need to get everybody over to Rockfin we can to start building over there because YouTube is punking our sisters and brothers all over the net, including us.
We got 6 viewers over at the Rockfin.
Yeah, we do, and I will be realigning the studio Sunday so I can make Rockfin my prime spot. We have No Joke tomorrow morning, I believe. I haven't heard from Marcus because Slack got nuked and we're on a new communications platform. And then, of course, Beauty and the Boomer tomorrow night. It's going to be the Halloween party warm-up show. And Shanda, you are going to come as a disembodied guillotine victim. Is that right? Or what are you?
Yeah, I could have my head in my hand. No.
What do you have in
I'm
mind?
not giving away what I'm coming as tomorrow or on Halloween. Well, I already told you guys I'm doing the White Rabbit for Halloween.
Yeah, well, I'm going to
kind of White Rabbit.
I'm going to try and bring some nautical flair tomorrow night. Nautical flair.
Are you going to be wearing the freaking Hampton sweater over your freaking shoulders and have the deck shoes on?
With the pipe and the little white cap with the little gold emblem on it?
You look like Hemingway.
No. No. So
Hemingway eyes.
Yeah, well, anyway, I've got to remind me to make some ice cubes so I can have my stuff on ice. Anyway, what are we going out with today? We've got a choice.
Whatever you choose. I threw a couple more songs.
Do you want to do the Clown and the Queen?
Thank you, Al Walski. We appreciate your support. Al Walski says, thanks for another award-winning show. I don't know who's giving us awards, but we'll take them.
That's a Wipey Award. Thank you, Al. We really do appreciate that. More than you know. And we are going to hopefully make monetization easier in the future, especially going over to these other platforms. The super chats are going to go away. Yeah. So we'll make it easier. And everybody, remember, take care of your funds. It's going to get really rough after the holidays. We do appreciate it. Shanda, we've got Lynn. We've either got the Clown and the Queen or what's the other one?
The Clown and the Queen is a really good throwback to 2016. It's a Bernie Sanders song.
Okay, or we can have "Don't Dream." It's Over cover by Ashley Lawless. Which one do you want?
Oh, I'm torn. Bernie gave his first 100-day speech, so let's give him a head start.
Nah, there you go.
Okay, so it's Ashley Lawless, right?
Yep.
Okay. Ashley Lawless. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. And just let me know if you can hear this on the way out. And have a great day. See you tonight on Brave New Future, 7 p.m. Pacific Time. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Try to catch the deluge in a paper cup. There's a battle ahead. Many battles are lost, but you never see the end of the road while you're traveling with me. Hey now, don't dream it's over. Hey now, when the world comes in, they come to build a wall between us. We know they won't win. Now I'm towing my car, and there's a hole in the roof. My possessions are causing me suspicion, but there's no proof, no. In the paper today, tales of but you turn right over to the TV page. Hey now, don't dream it's over. Hey now, when the world comes in, they come to build a wall between us. We know they won't win. Now I'm walking again to the beat of a drum, and I'm counting the steps to the door of your heart. Only shadows ahead, barely clearing the route. Get to know the feeling of liberation.